out of board space. Would you guys mind if I erase the two solutions previously on there and free up some space? All right, let's do that. Okay, how's that doing over there? 72, 73. Oh, the 75 was actually a little bit high. It's starting to come back down a little bit now. That's good. I like letting that play while we can analyze it. This is FYI. What you're looking at right now at the board is called a Monte Carlo simulation of a mathematical problem. You can actually solve this. We're going to hint at the solution right now mathematically based on that setup. But very often you can't solve something mathematically. I'll give you an example. You're sitting 3 to the right of the dealer playing Texas Hold'em. You've got your hand in your hand. Sorry, you're holding your cards. They've just thrown, what's the first card called of the 3? There's the turn, the river, the flop. What's the first one? Flop's down. You can see what it is. Yeah. They're about to turn the second one, which is the... Turn. That's the... Okay, turn. What's the chance your hand you're holding will be a flush right before that card is thrown down? Now, you cannot answer that question mathematically. It depends on too many variables. It depends on the cards that are currently in your hand, the cards that are currently in all the people's hand around you. You can give a range of values, but you can't actually give one point value, like we're trying to do right now. Oh, look at that. It's sitting a little still at 73%. I kind of like that. It's good. So what you're doing right now is you're doing a simulation of the situation, which is how quite a bit of stuff gets done in the world today. This is why I'm sad that we're not in a computer lab where we could do a lot more of this. This kind of computer simulations, have you guys set up your own and build them yourself. Has anybody ever used a flight simulator or know somebody that has used a flight simulator, learning how to become a pilot or how? That's all they're based on. That's what those things are based on. I was watching Apollo 13 a few months ago, and the 3 of them in Apollo 13, back in 1960, whatever that was, sitting in the practice LEM, and they were simulating situations based on random numbers, just like this. It's amazing how much you can get by just looking at good functional random numbers like this. All right, so here's solution number 3. 2 white marbles. And I liked your idea too, Tim. You said 2, 3, 4. It's just 4, I think, on Monday. It doesn't matter. You put a few, and then the rest. So we're going to come back to that. I want to hear what you guys have to say too, because the other hand shut up. But remember, so 2 white marbles in one, and the rest in the other. And that appears to be around 73%. Why? Why is it around 73%?
Because of
why? Hold on. Let's process. Why? I want to see hint. Let me see hint. I love that. I want to hear what you guys have to say, but I want to give people the time to think about this, because now all of a sudden, we can't just pretend there's one bowl anymore, right? Now there really are 2 bowls. There really are 2 bowls. I mean, you can view all the solutions up till this point as having 2 bowls, of course. But now there really have to be 2 bowls because we've put different numbers in each bowl. Tell me your name in the back.
Ryan.
Ryan, what's on your mind, Ryan?
By making one bowl 100% live,
Okay.
that automatically gives us a 50% live rate.
How does 100 become 50?
What I'm saying is that if you pick out of the first bowl, there is a 100% chance that you will pick a live.
And did you hear the first word he said in that statement? If you pick out of the first bowl. If you pick out of the first bowl, there is a 100% chance you will live. I hope everybody agrees with that statement, yes? If you grab this bowl, if you are lucky enough to grab this bowl, you will live. Guaranteed, hands down. Just like the other ones. So, you grab this, you're going to grab a white marble. Done. So, 100% of the time that you grab this bowl, you're going to live. But you only grab that bowl half the time. So, I want to write down in numbers what you're talking about. Ryan, right? Is that right? So, bowl 1, 100% of the time, you live. Good so far? Finish this thought, I think, and tell me your name right there.
Chad.
Chad, where are you going with that? I think you guys have the same idea, I'm thinking.
50% chance to pick that bowl.
You do.
So 50% of 100 is 50%.
50. Half the time, good.
And then on the other bowl.
Which you also pick half the time,
You
right?
have a 50% chance to get 44%.
Where did 44%?
Because 8 divided by 18 is 0.44.
Nice!
44%.
I was just making sure you.
And then,
Hey.
so 50% of 44% is 22%.
Okay.
So the total percentage is 100 and, or I mean,
I like where you're going with that.
72%.
I want to go back to that 100 thing you were about to say. Thank you. And tell me your name one more time.
Chad.
Chad, thank you. Chad, this is Ryan and Chad, Tag Team Solution. So what they're saying is, for this bowl here, did you catch the rate of living if you grab this bowl here? It's not 50-50, but it's kind of close. You're going to live in this bowl if you grab a white marble. Well, there are 8 white marbles in that bowl, yes? How many marbles total in that bowl? 18. So in bowl number 2, you've got an 8 out of 18, which is 4 out of 9 as a fraction. If you convert that into a decimal, it's about 44.44. It's a repeating decimal. It's 44, call it 44%, 44.5% if you want to. It's about a 44.5% chance of living. It's a 44.5% chance of living, but you only grab that half the time too, don't you? So half the time you're going to grab the guaranteed live, and half the time you're grabbing this 44% live. 44% sucks, of course, but you got to realize that by arranging the marbles this way, you've actually created a wonderful situation over the previous 2 solutions, haven't you? Remember the 50% we were averaging last time around? Well, that was guaranteed over both bowls. You've got all of that likelihood of living in the first bowl, because half the time you live 100% of the time. Half of 100%, 50%. So right here, let's change color to make it pop out. Does that make sense? If it doesn't, don't worry. 50% of the time, right now, you're only going to make that better because you haven't even talked about the second bowl yet. The second bowl, which you also only pick half the time, you live 44% of the time. Half of that 44.5% comes up to roughly 22%. 22.25 if you're going by decimals or whatever. So this guy right here, bowl number 2 ends up being about 22.25%. And if you sum those guys up, that gives you your total chance of living. Because you're either going to live if you grab bowl 1 or if you grab bowl 2. If you grab bowl 1, the times you do, you live half the time. Otherwise, you live roughly a quarter of the time. If you add them all up together, we get about, what, 72.25%? How does that agree with what we're seeing up on the board? Pretty damn close, huh?
Yeah.
Pretty damn close. 72. It's rounding it off to the. Actually, let me. We're running a lot of trials here. It's becoming. There we go. It's becoming hard to see what's actually happening. Let's turn this back over so everybody at home can see this. So hell yeah, right? Hell yeah. Can we do better?
Yeah.
Can we do? Oh. Good. Bad joke. Can we do better? I heard one very quiet yeah.
Yeah.
Can we make our chance of living even better?
Yeah.
Even better. Good. That's like. Yes. How?
Just put one.
How?
White marble.
What? Kate? What?
Just put one white marble in the
Oh,
one.
this guy here.
Move it to the other
Put him over here. Wait a minute. Isn't that going to screw up this bowl over here?
No.
Why?
Because you still have 100% chance,
Still
because there's only white there.
It's all you got to grab is one marble. If it's white, you live. So doesn't it make sense to just put one white marble in this bowl? Yes, one white marble in this bowl. One white marble in this bowl. And you still maintain the logic of solution number 3, don't you? You still maintain the logic of solution number 3 because you still get that 100% likelihood half the time. But what you increase is the other percentage in bowl number 2, don't you? Don't you? Let's do that. Shut her down. Yeah. All good. All right. So we want that and this. There we go. It already started uploading over here. Let's let it do its thing. And while it's doing its thing, we'll do ours. There we go. Oh, look at that. It's bouncing around. It's a little noisy right now. Let's just put this up like this. We'll do the math. right next to it and see how it pans out as we go. That makes sense with you guys? All right, so, can we see that okay? Yes, and let's stop.